ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थः ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवथास्य पद्म पादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ विदिताखिलशास्त्रसुधा जलधे महितोपनिषत्कथितार्थनिधे हृदये कलये विमलं चरणं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्। ओं परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकरादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्त गुरूणां देवतानां परब्रह्मणः श्रुतिमातुः अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणेव अनुभवप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थानजागरणविश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं विश्वशान्तिकल्याण एकताप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मवैदिकसंस्कृतेः साधकभक्त उपासक संस्थापकानां विघ्ननिवारण शत्रुनिर्मूलनद्वारा समस्त शक्ति साधना संपदवाप्ति द्वारा निर्विघ्न दिग्विजय प्राप्त्यर्थं श्री तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं समस्त शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणम् we have to do from yato vacho nivartante for our chanting. It's so good. Better than doing nothing is something doing, and something when it is of chanting, and that too also of the Upanishad mantras. Nothing greater than that. If at all something is greater, that is the study of the Upanishads with Bhashyam. That also by God's grace we are trying. And the two more greater things remain after that is the contemplation meditation, followed by experience and establishment in that. May the God Guru Parampara bless us in this regard, that we reach to those deeper inner heights and qualifications of nearing to the truth. Let us chant it. Om Ata Taittiriya Upanishadः Parayinam Om Yato Vacho Nivartante Aprapya Manasa Sah Anandam Brahmano Vidvan न बिभेति कदाचनेति तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य तस्माद्वा एतस्मान्मनोमयात् अन्योऽन्तर आत्मा विज्ञानमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविद एव तस्य पुरुषविदताम् अन्वयं पुरुषविदः तस्य श्रद्धैव शिरः ऋतं दक्षिणः पक्षः सत्यमुत्तरः पक्षः योग आत्मा महः पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवते विज्ञानं यज्ञं तनुते कर्माणि तनुतेऽपि च विज्ञानं देवाः सर्वे ब्रह्मज्येष्ठमुपासते विज्ञानं ब्रह्म चेद्वेद तस्माच्चेन्न प्रमाद्यते शरीरे पाप्मनो हित्वा सर्वान् कामान् समश्नुत इति तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य तस्माद्वा एतस्माद् विज्ञानमयात् अन्योन्तर आत्मानन्दमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविद एव तस्य पुरुषविदताम् अन्वयं पुरुषविदः तस्य प्रियमेव शिरः मोदो दक्षिणपक्षः प्रमोद उत्तरपक्षः आनन्द आत्मा ब्रह्मपुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति असन्नेव स भवति असद्ब्रह्मेति वेद चेत् अस्ति ब्रह्मेति चेद्वेद सन्तमेनन्ततो विदुरिते तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य अथातोऽनुप्रश्नाः उता विद्वानमुं लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चन गच्छति आहो विद्वानमुं लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चित् समश्नुताहु शोकामयत बहुस्यां प्रजा ये ते सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा इदगं सर्वमसृजत यदिदं किञ्च तत्सृष्ट्वा तदेवानुप्राविशतु तदनुप्रविश्य सच्चत्यच्चाभवत् निरुक्तं च निलयनं च निलयनं च विज्ञानं च सत्यं चानृतं च सत्यमभवत् यदिदं किञ्च तत्सत्यमित्याचक्षते तदप्येष श्लोको भवति असद्वा इदमग्र आसीत् ततो वै सदजायत तदात्मानग्गः स्वयमकुरुत तस्मात् तत्सुकृतमुच्यत इति यद्वै तत्सुकृतं रसो वै सः रसगह्येवायं लब्ध्वानन्दे भवते को ह्येवान्यात् कः प्राण्यात् यदेष आकाश आनन्दो न स्यात् एष ह्येवानन्दयाते यदा ह्येवैष एतस्मिन्न दृश्येनात्म्ये निरुक्ते निलयने भयं प्रतिष्ठां विन्दते अतसो भयं गतो भवते यदा ह्येवैष एतस्मिन्नुदरमन्तरं कुरुते अत तस्य भयं भवते तत्त्वेव भयं विदुषो मन्वानस्य तदप्येष श्लोको भवति ओम शान्तिः 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 ओम अथ श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ओम यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ॐ शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावेद तद्वक्तारमावेद आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 अथ प्रथमोऽनुवाकः ॐ ब्रह्मविदाप्नोति परं तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म यो वेदनिहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन् सोऽश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् सह ब्रह्मणा विपश्चिते ते तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाश सम्भूतः आकाशाद्वायोः वायोरग्निः अग्नेरावः अद्भ्यः पृथिवी पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधीभ्योऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः स वा एष पुरुषोन्नरसमयः तस्येदमेव शिरः अयं दक्षिणपक्षः अयमुत्तरपक्षः अयमात्मा इदं पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवते ॐ शान्तिः 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 saluting Shruti Mata Parabrahma, saluting entire Brahma Vidya Acharya Rishi Muni Guru Devata Parampara, saluting Vedavyasa Yagnavalkya Vaishambhayana and also Bhashyakara Bhagavan Adi Shankara, saluting to our own Guru Parampara, requesting all of them to give us that abilities, subtleties, that we are not missing any aspect of these Upanishads and Brahma Vidya. Having saluted them, the same time, what we have to know is ki, this Brahma Vidya is not as difficult as we think, because it is about the truth to reality and our own self. But then why it takes time, difficulty is to pursue that something. One thing is we don't have desire. We are busy and lost in the outer worldly things. All that's okay. But even when we come to the classes, the thing is what we have to create an oriented mind and intellect, antakaranam, which is always dwelling on this subject. Not only restricted to the class, but even beyond also. A type of mind intellect we have to create, which is always pondering on that atmosphere. The Shruti Adhyayana atmosphere of the Antakarana is different. That we have to create. Like a doctor, it creates his own atmosphere of the medicine. A lawyer in his own law, a chartered accountant, he is in an atmosphere of all that accountancy, how to do whichever the firm appoints me or gives me the work. You understand? A sports person has his own aura created. The books he browses, the other video clippings he sees, the interactions he does all are of that type. So an artist also in his own, like a mechanic, a politician. So everybody have their own atmosphere in and around, which is conducive to their own profession, which is essential. That is how they are, like a householder. That when at home, she is in that atmosphere of taking care of everybody at home, the food, etc. So she is always in that orientation. Everybody is oriented in their atmosphere or personality toward that particular work. A driver, a lorry driver, a bus driver, you see their atmosphere, their orientation is it's different totally. A shopkeeper you can see, a salesperson you can see. So in this world, everyone is in their own mindset towards their own goal, wanting to achieve whatever. In the same way, for us to get into actual meaning and deeper meaning and complete meaning of every mantra of the Upanishad and every sentence of the Bhashyam, we have to be into that orientation, into that mood, not alienating ourselves from it after the class. Even during the class also, वो चुई मुई तरह हम रहते हैं. That's how it is. Unattached to it. But hello, academically we are studying. Unless we put ourselves into that, engross ourselves into that, that truths, those subtle things won't get revealed to us because our effort will not be so deep and sincere. Like when you do the yoga asana, just because you paid the money, you go and just do little bit here and there and come. Money will go to that yoga master, but you won't get yoga. So there you have to create that orientation in you at least for those 2 3 hours or whatever half an hour exercise. Even throughout the day also, you have to be conscious. I'm paying money, I'm learning yoga, I have to do yoga, I have to keep myself fit. So, in the same way, in this Vedanta Vicharana, Vedanta Anubhuti also, we have to create that orientation. And it is to be consciously developed. The difference between all other professions and this, the other thing which give example, they all give those respective results, but none of them are eternal or permanent. Whereas with spiritual orientation, when we do all the sadhanas learned, the result gained, the benefit gained is everlasting, permanent, and beautiful. And it's a truth. So that way, if we can know, then we will be inspiring ourselves to create that orientation in us. What we generally do is, instead of creating that orientation, whatever that inner feeling created in us by the Guru or God or in the class, that also we allow to disappear by looking at the world, seeing the people, comparing with them, imagining that they are more happy than me, the miserable student of Vedanta. So immediately we remove this garb of we being spiritual seekers and take that garb of worldliness, and then we involve in that. Again, when the class comes, we can come. So instead of that, knowing that whether it is difficulty, whether it is very tough, whatever, knowing that we are in a best of the paths toward the best of the goal, we have to slowly create and don't compromise with that inner orientation atmosphere all the time in that. A bhakta also is like that. If he is a Krishna Bhakta, all the time Krishna Krishna. See that the Sutikshna's explanation we saw yesterday, how he was talking about Rama Mantra Mahima, how the Rama Mantra Mahima makes the Lord or the Self hidden in the heart. The Rama is experienced, and those who are the Vimukha to the Rama Mantra, how the Maya overpowers. So, in all his stuti, we can see his orientation and Rama Mantra, Rama Bhakti, and all that. So, we have to recognize the need of it, create it. All the time, book in the hand, chanting, studying, and then slowly entering into the contemplation, which is very tough, giving little more value in whatever the way you can do. You can say this few hours I will do that, और कुछ भी सोचने लगोगे तो अपने खुद के लिए जो कन्वीनियंट आइडियाज है वो आ जाते हैं. So my idea is to take classes at least. During the classes at least, we are pondering over the self. Beyond also, the time is there. We can take the book study. But more important is keep Antakarna in that mood all the time as much as possible. Don't take out of it. Don't take the mind out of this mood and put in the wrong, in the negative mood. Then whatever learnt also is forgotten. So this is how. And if one enters into this guru or the mood, then slowly the understanding comes and it sustains. It guides us on the seat of dhyanam. We'll be able to do the dhyanam in that the dhyaya vastu also experienced. And generally, in all the Gurukulas, Guru makes that type of atmosphere for the disciple. All the around things also are made in such a way that is not going out of the zone or area of the scriptural study, the spiritual contemplation regarding the truth. Like TV tower, it has its own zone, or the cell tower is there, it has its own area. दूर जाओगे और सिग्नल नहीं आता. तो हमको ना ये टीवी टावर वेदांत का है, उससे दूर नहीं जाना ताकि हमको सिग्नल ना मिले. ऐसे रेंज में रहो तो निरंतर सिग्नल मिल रहा है हमको. In that way. Now, by God's Guru's grace, Taittiriya Upanishad, we started studying. Now, in the Brahmananda Valli, Prathamanuvakaha is starting to give us some visions of understanding. So, for the entire literature of spirituality, Vedanta, the Sutra Bhuta Vakyam we must remember, and its explanation we must remember, and then total commentary given on that for its exhaustive understanding by Bhagavan Adi Shankara has to be repeatedly, every line, every para to be studied till we enter into the core of it, till we enter into the depth of the understanding of it. If that is done, it will be of great help to us. So the Sutra Bhuta Vakya was Brahma Apnoti Param. In many classes, we try to discuss on that. So you can refer to that. The idea is seek the eternal or Param, and that is achieved only when we know the Brahman. Then what is Brahman? What is knowing the Brahman? All those things were discussed in the Bhashya by Bhagavan, even in the Sambandha Bhashya, and after the explanation to this mantra. Thereafter, when we know Brahman, we get the ultimate. Therefore, what are the lakshanas of the Brahman? How to know him, separating him from everything other than him. Specifically, that he is Brahman. How to know? Unless the gunas or the lakshanas are told, we cannot recognize. Therefore, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that is said. तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यम ज्ञानमनंतं ब्रह्म. So this satyam jnanamanantam brahma sentence said by Shruti Mata appears to be simple, but it has a very deep, clear understanding to be gained about it. Therefore, Bhashyakara tried to explain to us. In his effort, what was done? So the Brahman therefore is exclusively different from everything other than him. One point. Two, the three lakshanas because of which the whole world is separated. Those three lakshanas neither overlap into other things nor lack in Brahman. So these three lakshanas belong only to Brahman. There is no fourth lakshana, there is no two lakshanas. These three. And these three don't belong to anything other than Brahman. That conviction we have to gain, and that vastu which is satisfying all the three lakshanas, we have to reach or gain through contemplation. So in Vedanta, the prapti of the existing thing is only through vicharana, through contemplation. Already existing Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma as our own self, we have to apprehend. That is the introduction he gave also in the beginning, Bhagavan Adi Shankara. This Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, first intellectually you have to understand. Then in search of it, you discover it as Pratyagatma. That is the topic we are discussing today. Then the Pratyagatma alone is the Sarvatma Brahma. So this is how our journey should be very clear in our understanding before we undertake that journey. Then we have seen the Purvapakshi's variety of prashna. While answering to all of them, the Guru Maharaj, the Bhagavan Adi Shankara, tried to prove to us that the Satyam Jnanam Anantam, they are not the Visheshanas to the Visheshya Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam are the Lakshanas of Brahma, by which it is separate from everything else. And these Lakshanas of Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma also are not like the Vakya and Vakyartha, then Nama Nami Sambandha. So all that was so wonderfully said. Then main focus was given to the Jnanam Brahma. In that we are familiar with one Jnanam, and the Jnanam Brahma is different. So to make us understand it, Shankara Bhagavan has done is a very exhaustive efforts. And then these three words, Satyam Brahma, Jnanam Brahma, Antam Brahma, mutually they are not related, but each of them are Puraka to the others. Means if you understand Brahman as Satyam, that Brahman should be Jnanam and Anantam also. If not so, then you have not caught the correct Brahman. So too, if you understand Brahman as Jnanam, but in him the Anantata is not there, then he is not Brahma. So the Brahma has to be Satyam, at the same time he is a Jnanam, at the same time he must be Anant. So the Satyam is the unmodification. So unmodifying Vastu is Brahma, you can say. Unmodifying status of being is called as Brahma, you can say. An experience where the modifications are not at all happening, all the time the same is there, that experience is Brahmanubhuti. And that happens to be our own self, because I'm the only one, unchanging, unmodifying. Means in me, that never changing, never modifying self, which is lightening, which is becoming aware of all the changes, modification that are happening in the Upadhi level. The one who sees that but not disturbed, that is called as Satyam Brahma. That is how the more we give time and the more we contemplate, it itself takes us to that very sublime inner understanding, first of all. Thereafter, as we reach to it, it is an experience, it is not an understanding at all. Brahma is not a vastu of avagahana. ब्रह्म इज एन आत्मा एंड अनुभूत वस्तु. ब्रह्म अनुभूति होता है. ब्रह्म ज्ञान इज ब्रह्म अनुभूति. We have to be very clear. And then the Gnapti Brahma was so exhaustively said that he is not dichotomized into anything, he is a pure Gnapti. And then that Gnapti Brahma alone, through the Upadhis of Antakarana, alone is appearing as the Jnanam of the world. Worldly Jnanam is gained because of the Upadhis of the Antakarana, always illumined by the pure Gnapti Swarupa Brahma. So, in the seat of meditation, we should be able to differentiate between the Shuddha Gnapti Brahma and the Brahman himself through Upadhi, who is becoming the Triputi. That is called as deep meditation. Means, if these understandings are very clear, then what to do on the meditational seat after quietening our mind through the Japa Adi, we get an idea or a data. And then Bhagwan's struggle was really appreciable, Adi Shankara's, to reach to us about the meaning of this Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. It's a beautiful thing if it clicks to us, but the struggle everyone will have to go through it. And the final conclusion is Satyameva Brahma, and that Brahma should be Jnanam, Jnanameva Brahma, and that should be Anantam, Anantameva Brahma. And if we reverse it, Brahma Eva Satyam, therefore, other than Brahman, everything is Mithya. So, Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. Second, Jnanam Brahma, therefore, Brahma Eva Jnanam, therefore, other than Brahma, everything is Jadam. Third one is Anantam Brahma, reverse karo, the Brahma Eva Anantam, everything other than Brahma is Santam. So, this Santam, endful, Jadam, the inert, and then Satyam, non-essential or unreal. We are into that, the caught up in those three. Beyond that, supporting them, only this Brahman is there of this Lakshana. So when we focus on him, we reach him. For that, we should learn the art of rejecting all these three. Santam, Jadam, Vyakrutam. Santam, endful. Jadam, inert. Vyakrutam, modifying. Everything that which is modified, everything which is matter, everything which is not infinite, finite. When from our attention we drop all of them, then already existing, that Satyam, never changing, Jnanam, pure consciousness, Anantam, infinite or eternal, that Anubhuti comes to us. That's a deep exercise on the contest seat of meditation. So it should happen slowly when we understand the theory and keep the theory intact. And with this theory in the laboratory of meditation, when you do the experimentations or the contemplations, it will happen to us. So yesterday we have done that portion of Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Okay, now we have to search him. ब्रह्म का विलक्षण विश्लेषण हो चुका है. Now that Brahma Prapti alone is Paraprapti was the thing sentence said in the Mula Vakya. Brahmavid apnoti param. No apnoti so prapnoti. So that Upalabdhisthana, although is there everywhere permeating, where to find him? We should be very careful about it. So everywhere, anywhere, though he is there, you cannot search him everywhere and anywhere to find. There should be an Upalabdhi sthana for us to recognize that Brahman. After that Upalabdhi, everywhere he alone. Though everywhere he is alone, he cannot be caught. Understood? हर जगह है लेकिन पकड़ा नहीं जाते वो. Like in the entire tree, that potentially the bud nest or the flower nest is there, but everywhere it doesn't express. Only a particular place it comes as a bird, that bud or that particular flower or any fruit. In the same way, we should be very, very thorough and doubtful regarding the Upalabdhisthana Paramatma. After that, then how to find him there will be the next subject. So in the subsequent Anuvakams, including the second Valli, these are the topics dealt after exhaustively explaining to us Brahma Vidapnoti Param Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So what is Upalabdhi Sthanam? That is what is said in the third line that we will study today. Try to understand through the Bhashyam. And all said and done, if the mana is not in the Ekagra Bhumika, if it is in the Kshipta Moda Vikshipta Bhumika, these won't enter into us, all these studies and explanations. Even if they enter, but they are not understood and they don't create any meaning or sense in us. That is why the need of the Shuddhata of the Antakarana, the need of the Ekagrata of the Antakarana. So the Ekagrata of Antakarana is freedom from Rajoguna. Shuddhata of Antakarana is freedom from the Tamoguna. Where it is gained, there only these words, the meaning comes to us and they appear to be meaningful, then really we can use of them, not otherwise. So let us chant that second portion of mantra after Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Okay, only one line we chant and that explanation is given by Bhashyakara who study. What is that? Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipaschiteti. Itna हमारा second level of study in this Pratamanuka. Okay. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. Again. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. Feel the chanting of this mantra and literal meaning is easy. Explanation of Bhagavan Shankara, we have to get it and it gives us the picture to be more clearer. So, first we will see from our own stand, then we see word by word of the Bhashya. So, you see the sequence of the sentences, Brahmavida apnoti param. The Brahmaveda will obtain the ultimate. Okay. Then Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. The Lakshanas of the Brahman are said. Then we have to connect both the Brahma Vastu and the one who is searching the Brahma Vastu and the Phala of it. Therefore, the three things are said in this Mahavakya. Beautiful sentence. First is Yo Veda. And this Yo Veda goes with the first line. Brahmavid apnoti. Therefore, Yo Veda. Jo janta hai. So, whoever he knows. So, by saying Yo Veda, probability is there given to everyone. But among them, whoever and try and reach out. Though it is said generally Yo, whoever he may be, he who, she who is she, irrespective of any differentiations on any account. Yaha koi bhi. In all our Shastras, this Yaha word is used every time. By saying so, it is only the qualifications which help us in reaching, not other criteria of jati, vayo, linga, ityadi. Therefore, whoever he may be, anybody who tries, he can reach out. But the thing is, he has to try. That's the meaning of yo. So, yo Veda, whoever knows this Brahman. Here, the knowing Brahman again is not like knowing the world as we said yesterday. No, in the so far discussed portion. So here Veda is knowing itself is being. Okay, and every time intellectually understanding तो पहले precede करता ही है, followed by the experience. So यो Veda first sentence. Whoever knows. And what is Upalabdhi Sthanam? Very essential thing which we started today. Nihitam guhayam parame vyoman. Yo Veda, whoever knows that this Brahman, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, whose knowledge gives us Param Prapti, it is to be understood that it is Nihitam. It is very beautifully hidden. निहित मतलब छुपा के रखा है, कवर करके रखा है. निहितम, like the cash and gold, you just don't keep in the house anywhere. Servants come and others come and we don't know, or anybody, तो किसी के नजर नहीं लगना, तो what do? Nihitam. You keep it in such a lockers of almirah and all, keep the key in such a way that we only forget where it is. So निहितम मतलब है बहुत बड़ी बांति, वो वहां छुपा के रखा है. कहाँ है वो? गुहायाम. So guhayam nihitam. This guha is the place in which this Brahma is to be recognized. It is nikshipta there, it is hidden there. What is the meaning of all that? Bhashyakara is going to tell us. We are trying to understand. So Yoveda, nihitam guhayam, and there also parame vyoman. In that the supreme vyomni or akasha, it is hidden there. There you have to find it. So, in the guha of the supreme Akasha, Nihitam guhayam parame vyoman yo Veda. So, the Upalabdhi Sthana is that one, and reaching to there, whoever he may be who discovers his identity with that. That's the meaning of yo Veda Nihitam guhayam parame vyoman. So, what is the result now? Yo Veda ho gaya, yo Veda Nihitam guhayam parame vyoman is Upalabdhi Sthanam ho gaya. In the cave of the heart, in the Nihitam Guhaya. Phala is to be said, Saha Ashnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. Brahmana Vipaschita. Iti, it is over. Only this much the entire Vedanta, entire Upanishad. Saha means he. Yo and Saha go together. Whoever has discovered that Brahman, as said in the above Lakshanas, in the cave, in the Guha, Nihitam. Saha, for him, the phala is what? Ashnute, prapnoti, enjoys. What? Sarvan kaman. All the kamana, phala, enjoyment he gets. That also saha at one go, along with brahmana vipassiteti, with the brahmajnanam, brahmanandam. So Brahma anubhuti will come, as well as the anubhuti of all the things experienced at one go, that will come. अब देखो, सो ब्रह्म सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम ब्रह्म वित यो वेद निहितम गुहायाम परमे व्योमन आपनोति परम सोष्णुते सर्वान कामान सह ब्रह्मणा विपश्चिता. सी द फर्स्ट लाइन इज ब्रह्मविद आपनोति परम, उसका एक्सप्लेनेशन ही द नेक्स्ट टू लाइन्स. So Brahma means Satyam Jnanam Anantam. With means Yoveda Nitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Apnoti Paramis Saha Ashnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipaschita. So the first line is as if explained. What as if? Truly it is elaborated or explained or defined in the next two lines. That is how we have to study this particular portion. So, how it is like Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Okay, that one. Nitam Bhayam Parame Vyoman Yah Veda Saha अश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् ब्रह्मणा सह इति परम आपनोति। सारे मिलकर बताने से ये है। सो ब्रह्मविदाप्नोति परम तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म यो वेद निहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन् सोऽश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् सह ब्रह्मणा विपश्चितेति। So whoever discovers that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma as his own self in the cave of his own heart, the benefit of it, the profit of it, the joy it was, Ashnute Sarvan Kaman. He enjoys all the Kamanas. Saha is one go and Saha Brahmana Vipaschita. Along with the Vipaschit Brahma Anubhuti, he will experience all the other Anubhuti. So it is just like saying, कि ये भी मिलेगा वो भी मिलेगा. How to understand that? The Bhashyakara will guide us. So let us try to see. Okay. So Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, it's over. We are not touching it. Now straight away, Avatarika. For this, Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam onwards, those two sentences. He says, Tat Yatha Vyakhyatam Brahma. So what is Avatarika? Tat Brahma Yatha Vyakhyatam. As it was given the Vyakhyanam. The two Vyakhyanams are one, the Shruti Mata's Vyakhyanam, that is, the Brahma is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Then the Bhashyakara's Vyakhyanam to explain the Satyam as the Rutam, that is Abhikari, Jnanam, the Jnapti Matram, the Avabodha Matram. Then the Anantam is Deshakala Aparichinnam. Yatha Vyakhyatam. That Brahma, Yatha Vyakhyatam is important sentence. That Brahman, which was so exhaustively explained by the Sutra, that is Rishi or Shruti Mata, and by the Bhashya Bhagavan Adi Shankara, literally the one who understood that Brahma. What is that? Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Barame Vyoman Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. Now that Brahma, Yo, now we are explaining the Upanishad mantra with the Bhashyam. Yaha, whoever he may be, he who. Yo Veda. Veda means Vijanati. As we have just now said, Vijanati is not Janati. It is not, he only intellectually comprehends it. Vijanati means Vijnayate, Anubhoyate, Swatma Rupena, Atma Rupena. The one who experiences that as his own self. That's the Vijanati. Not intellectual understanding. Intellectual understanding of Brahman makes us continue to be a Jiva only. Anubhuti of the Brahman only frees us from the Jiva Bhava and subsequent Bandhana. Therefore, Veda, one word we are understanding, Vijanati, Visheshana Janati means Atma Rupena Anubhavam Karoti. Never forget that one. Vijanati. Then comes Nihitam. So, Yo, we have explained, whoever he may be, Veda, Vijanati, whoever experiences, that word we have seen, the Yo Veda, Nihitam is the word. Nihitam means what? Sthitam. Sthitam means wonderfully it is established there, it is stationed there, it is as if waiting for us only. It is to ascertain that there is no doubt about the Brahman's existence, it is very much there and very much seated there as if waiting for us. Never have the doubt like the Purapakshi. He denied after listening everything, there is no Satyam Jnanavantam Brahma. निहितम स्थितम है वहां आपका इंतजार कर रहा है अब कहाँ इंतजार कर रहा है व्हाट इज दैट प्लेस ऑफ द उपलब्धि वेयर आई हैव टू गो एंड बी कम वन विथ हिम आइडेंटिफाई विथ हिम यो वेद निहितम द थिंग इज गुहायाम इन द गुहा उपलब्धि स्थान इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन उपनिषद्स एंड ऑल not only they define Brahman but they explain to us where that Brahman is available and how to achieve him. That is what, there alone we can find him. And the Brahman found there alone is the Brahma Anubhuti or Moksha. Not that Brahman is found anywhere or everywhere, anytime. Clear? Once you recognize him there in the Upalabdhis Dwara, Upalabdhi sthanam, then everywhere he alone is seen. That's later on. This is the kindness of the Rishi and Muni. ऐसा नहीं है कि they disclaimed the ब्रह्म विद आपनोत परम तदेशा अभ्युक्ता सत्यम ज्ञान एंड तुम ढूंढो निकलो तुम. हमने बताया आपको डेफिनेशन, अब जाके पता करो. They don't trouble us with that treasure hunt of any, although it's a treasure hunt, but without explaining or giving guidance of its Upalabdhi sthana, they are not happy or satisfied, and that is more important. After knowing the Brahman is Satya Jnanam Anantam, after knowing is Brahma Prapti is the Para Prapti, now we should know where to obtain him. Therefore, Upalabdhi sthanam is Ati Ati Mukhyam. So it is said Guhayam. Now we have to understand this word. वो गुहा में स्थित है, उस ब्रह्म को हमें whoever vijanati recognize themselves as that, so SHRUTHI kaman sarvan, that will come later on. So what is guhayam? There are 2-3 meanings given here by Bhagavan Bhashyakara. They are very subtle, very interesting. Slowly we try to see to the extent whatever we can understand. Now, first of all, guhayam, where from this word came etymologically? What is its dictionary meaning? Says guhatehe samvarana arthasya. So guhatehe, guha is a word. For that, in the dhatu patha of the grammar or Sanskrit, the meaning is samvarana. Samvarana means it covers it. So guhaya means in the covering of. That cover we have to discover. Please understand the word meaning in this particular shloka. Every word's meaning of Bhagavan's Bhashyam. That alone gives us clarity. So, guhate is samvarnarthasya. Therefore, that guha is the word, what it means is samvarna. Samvarna means covering. Varna, you know all that? Avarana, asamantat varanam. Not varnanam, not varnam. Varnanam is description. Then Varanam is choosing. Here is Avarana. Vara. Vara, Varnana. Dono nahi. Varana. Asamantat Varana. Varana means covering. So, Guhatehe Samvarana Arthasya means Brahman is covered there. Means Sthitam already. But what we have to do? Just remove the cover. There you are. So, guhatehe samvarna arthasya. Okay? Now, nigudaha asyam. So, in that cover, whichever it is there, within that cover, it is hidden. Nigudaha asyam. So, yo veda nihitam, that who knows that it is nihitam, it is established in, it is staying there, nihitam, where guhayam, in a cover. When that cover is removed, it is discovered. And this cover is not any of the outer covers. Like you are on dining table, you removed the lid and then you found some eatable there. It is very subjective, it is inside. First word meaning understood. Samvarnarthasya. Guha is samvarnam. Samvarnam means it is covered. And that cover is dropped. The beauty is what? You discover it as your own self. That is called as Veda or Vijanati. So the cover word has to be clearly understood. Like as I said on dining table, when the cover is removed, the eatable is seen, but you don't become one with it. You have to eat it. Is it not? In this case, ऐसा नहीं है. The cover removal is equal to unity, uniting ourselves with that Brahman which is hidden in that cover. So, gohate samvarnarthasya nigudha asyam. Nigudaha asyam. So, now the next word is very sentence. Nigudaha asyam jnana jnaya jnatru padarthaha iti guha buddhi. Be conscious, be pausing here. Nigudaha asyam jnana jnaya jnatru padarthaha iti guha buddhi. Gudhau asyam भोगापवर्गो पुरुषार्थ इति वा तस्याम परमे प्रकृष्टे व्योमन व्योमनि आकाशे व्याकृताख्ये तद्धि परमं व्योम एतस्मिन् को लक्षणः. These are the 3 or 4 explanations are given. So first one is what? Guhatehe samvarnarthasya covered. So within the cover it is there. Then what is the cover? Be attentive. Buddhi itself is cover. Okay. Buddhi as what? Now listen carefully. Buddhi as what is becoming the cover of this Brahma. बुद्धि इज द कवर. यहाँ तो समझ में आएगा ना किस तरह से बुद्धि उस ब्रह्म का कवरिंग कर रहा है. दैट दैट कवरिंग वी हैव टू रिमूव फॉर द वेद और विजानाति फॉर डिस्कवरिंग इट. ब्यूटिफुली एक्सप्लेन हियर. निगूढ़ाः अस्याम ज्ञान ज्ञेय ज्ञातृ पदार्थाः इति गुहा इति बुद्धिः. So the buddhi is that one where these three triputi, which we were discussing last 10 days every day, the jnana, the jnana, jnaya, jnatrupadartha. So that is called as buddhi, which is called as guha in our own inner being, where continuously, constantly, the triputi experiences of knower known knowledge are always happening. So the Triputi experience of knower known knowledge is always happening, and that which is happening is called as buddhi. So that buddhi with the happening of these three is the covering or the samvarna behind which the sthitam, the Brahma Vastu is hidden. Therefore, as when we remove the cover, we discover it. So too, when the buddhi cover is removed, then we are one with the Brahmanubhava. And what is the buddhi? Jnatru jnana jneya padarthaha. So the triputi of known knowledge. These three, when they are covers of the called as buddhi, when that is rejected. So buddhi is your antakarana, where nirantara this vyapara is going on of jnata, jnanam and jneyam. And see, Patanjali Yoga Darshanam में हम वही पढ़ रहे थे. Here also 3-4 days when we were discussing Jnapti Shuddha Jnanam, it is not dichotomized into three. Same thing is here said कि गुहते संवर्णार्थस्य अस्याम गुड़ा निगूढ़ाः ज्ञान ज्ञेय ज्ञातृ पदार्थाः इति गुहा बुद्धिः. This is the one meaning. So what is therefore nihitam guhayam? There should be no doubt now. गुहा में स्थित है ब्रह्म. गुहा मतलब कवर करता है. तो कवर को रिमूव करो तो ब्रह्म मिलता है. तो वो गुहा क्या है? कवर. दैट इज अ बुद्धि. एंड हाउ द बुद्धि इज कवरिंग द ब्रह्मन? by itself expressing as the triputi of jnatru jnana jneyam. Therefore, wherever on the seat of meditation, listen carefully, the cover of all the three are lifted away. We are one with the Brahman, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Therefore, what is a sadhaka sadhana on the dhyana avastha? The triputi he is slowly rejecting or removing. So the triputi rahita, triputi is a cover. When the cover is removed, we can discover the Brahman Satyam Jnanam Anantam Nihitam as our own selves. Veda is experienced at that time. Therefore, throughout in the meditational sadhana, our efforts are rejecting one by one these three things. So right now, all the time we are in the anubhuti of jnatru jnana jneyam. So there's a jnaya vastu, the object of knowledge, the jnata, the knower of the knowledge of the object, the jnanam, knowledge of the object to the knower. All the time it is happening by some or the other sadhanas when these three are eliminated. And what is the sadhana? So simple it is. In understanding. In doing it's always difficult. One by one we have to reject. And one rejected, other to become weakened. So the thing is said is first the jnaya vastu parityaga we have to do. So in our buddhi antakarana, when the triputis are happening, in the triputi of jnatru jnana jneyam, the jnaya vastu when it is devalued as jadam, anrutam, mithya, asatya, mithyadi, then the interest in knowing it, the jnanam, that also slowly goes away. Then when the jnanam is gone away, then jnata will not be there corresponding to the jnanam. Then what will happen? that Jnata himself discovers himself to be the Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So, Guha is that experience in our heart where the Triputi is Nirantara happening. That itself is a cover of the Brahma Tattva. Covering means not allowing us to recognize that Brahman as our own selves. But how much we are lost in this Triputi, you see, throughout our life. Both in Jagrat में भी, स्वप्न में भी, सुषुप्ति में भी है. Sushupti also, today we will see Yoga Darshanam, is a vritti only. But the object of the vritti is absence. Abhava pratyaya alambana vrittir nidra. So as long as we are lost in the world of Triputi of Jnatru Jnanam Gnayam, so long we are having the covering of the Brahman hidden from us. Same thing said in that mantra, Yaschandasam Rushabha, if you remember, how many times we quoted, Medhaya Pihitaha. What is Medha? Laukika Prajna. What is Laukika Prajna? The Jnatru Jnana Gneya Bheda. All in the Antakarana only. We are not worried about outer world. Already eyes are closed. In the closed eyes only, in the heart cave only, where this triputi is happening, that is not allowing us to discover or become identified with the Brahma. Vaha wo chupa hai. Therefore, sadhaka's drishti is on that Brahma Tattva, which is covered by these three. And luckily, those three are in fact illuminated by him only. But then, unless these three are rejected, purely he cannot be recognized. And the recognition always is that he is me, that is me. वो हो जाता है वहाँ वो तीनों को हटाने से. So, Nihitam Guhayam Buddhau, one meaning it is, where Jnatru Jnana Jneya Triputi Padarthas are there. So, Nigudaha Asyam Jnana Jneya Jnatru Padarthaha iti Guha Buddhi. So, that Buddhi which is always having this Triputi as its nature, that Buddhi with this Triputi is becoming Guhate, Samvarna, the covering for the Brahma. उसी में है वो. इन तीनों एटीट्यूड्स को छोड़ दो, इन तीनों वृत्तियों को छोड़ दो, देन दैट वृत्ति रहित त्रिपुटी रहित ज्ञप्ति स्वरूप ब्रह्म is realized as our own selves. So that buddhi, which is jnatu jnana jnaya yukta lakshana, as much is required in the world, to differentiate the things, to know the duties, to protect oneself and all. The same buddhi with triputi is the obstruction on the seat of meditation, not allowing us to know our own essential self, the Brahma Tattva. Now, second thing, little interesting discussion. What is that? Gurau asyam bhogapavargau purusharthau itiva. Why it is called as Guha the Buddhi? Because Gurau asyam bhogapavargau purusharthau. In this Buddhi only, these two purushartha are Gudhau are hidden, are staying there. In the Buddhi only. These two are staying there. And what are they? They are the Purusharthas. Means every Purusha is struggling to get these two only. What are those two things which are always there only in the Buddhi? Bhoga and Apavarga. Bhoga and Apavarga. Bhoga is a Bhoga of Sukha and Dukkha. And Sukha Dukkha Bhoga both at this level are called as Bandhanam. Bandhanam is called Samsaram. Therefore, Bhoga means Samsara Bandhanam. Apavarga is what? Not Bhoga, opposite of it is, therefore we can call it as Yoga. Then there is no Samsara Bandhanam, it is Moksham. Therefore, Bhoga Apavarga means what? Bandha Moksha. Both of them are hidden in this intellect only. What is the meaning of hidden in the intellect only? Means it is intellectual concepts, both of them. That I am bound now. It's an intellectual concept that I am bound now. Naturally, when I understand or accept myself to bound, obviously I try to get liberated. Therefore, I put all my efforts to get liberated. That also is vritti. Whereas the pure self is never bound because there is nothing other than it to bind it, nor it requires liberation. Therefore, the highest level of understanding, as much the bondage is a concept, so much liberation also is concept. But the liberation and the process of liberation, which are all the concepts and the efforts, are the ones which are used to eliminate the wrong notions of bandhana. Therefore, from this standpoint, what is moksham? Only to recognize that I was never bound. Because if the bandhanam is real, it will never go. अगर वो सत्य है, what is the definition of satyam? Which never goes away. If the bandhanam is real, then it will never go, then we will never get moksha. Therefore, what is the meaning of liberation is only knowing that I am that Brahman which is never bound. Therefore, as much bondage is a concept of the intellect, so much is the concept of intellect, the moksha. Therefore, bhoga pavarga. Both of them are nitam buddhau guhaya. So, these are intellectual concept. The self is never bound. Be attentive about it. Therefore, self never needs liberation. Who is bound then? Jiva. And who needs liberation is Jiva. What is the bondage of the Jiva? Getting lost in the Tripati. What is the liberation of Jiva? When he drops all the three, he himself discovers himself as the self, which is already there. Please remember, Brahman is always there, everywhere there as our own essential nature. We are never ever apart from it, away from it anytime because we cannot be without that Brahman. But a notion has come because of identity with upadhis that we are bound, then that is removed by the opposite notion, I am liberated. That's why we said, even in the earlier topic, Vidya removes avidya. Then what happens? Already existing Brahman is experienced. So the Brahma Vidya never brought or created Brahman. Brahman is always as our essential nature. Brahma Vidya is removing the avidya. Like, the wind has never brought the Lord Surya to us. Surya Bhagavan is always there, but not seen because of the clouds in between. Winds remove the clouds, then ever existing Surya is experienced by us. See him. In the same way, Vidya removes avidya and Brahma already existing, we get the Anubhuti Aham here. Here also, the Bhoga or the Samsara is a concept. Apavarga is the means by which that concept is removed. Then the Apavarga concept also goes away. Then already existing Aham Brahmasmi, that Anubhuti becomes direct. So that is the meaning of Gudhau Asyam Bhoga Pavargau Purushartho Itiva Tasya. So means what now? Be attentive carefully here. In the concept of Jiva, Bhava, in the concept of the Triputi, in the concept of Bhoga and Apavarga, in the presence of the concept of these three, eternally existing Brahman is concealed as if he is not available to us. So when this cover is removed, then we experience him. So when a person realizes the self, what is the state of realization? It is not that I was really bound, yaar, main avimukta ho gaya. That's not realization. Then the realization is, I was never bound, that's it. Because bandhanam is maya only. We are not bound. How can anything bind the pure self? There is nothing other than it. Even if it is there, it is unreal, it is mithya. And even it is mithya, it is very gross. How can the gross make the subtle disappear or cover? See that it's that's what is the difficulty in Vedanta to understand. These subtle things to click that only we need that intuitive intellect. That's what we are saying. Who told you we are bound? We are never bound. We are really always the eternal self. But that should be told only at this level of Upanishad. At the other Vyavahar level, we have to talk that we are bound by the world, we are bound by the Raga Desha, we are bound by the Deha, we are bound by Jiva Bhava. because अनुभूति हो रहा है ना हमको उसका, दो इट इज अनरियल, तो उसको हम पकड़ कर ही फिर सब्सटेंशियली we enter into the inquiry in which all these upadhis are rejected, then the bondage also is rejected. So, yo veda nihitam guhayam, the one who knows that it is hidden in the buddhi guha, and in the buddhi guha in the form of the efforts of bhoga and apavarga, and in the regular activities of triputi. ज्ञातृ ज्ञान ज्ञेय रूप त्रिपुटी रूपी बुद्धि में, और वो बुद्धि जिसमें भोग और अपोर वाला कॉन्सेप्ट्स है, उसके पीछे ब्रह्म है. ब्रह्म इज कवर्ड बाय देम. Therefore, either you reject all these three, the triputi, then you recognize the Brahman, or the bhoga apavarga efforts also we have to transcend. On the seat of meditation, then we recognize him. Now, it is not concluded there. One more sentence is added. Yovedanita guhayam. Second is parame vyoman. What is parame vyoman? The parame prakruste vyoman vyomni akashe avyakruta akhe. Parame vyoman means parame prakuste avyakruta akashe. This avyakruta akasha is called as the unmanifest subtle space. In other words, it's called as avidya. In some other place, it's called as maya. तो माया रूपी अव्याकृत आकाश में जो बुद्धि है, वो बुद्धि का जो चलन चालन है, संचालन, कि it thinks it is in the bondage, bhoga, he wants the apavarga. That buddhi which thinks is the bhoga, means the bondage, for it to get apavarga, the liberation, the buddhi continuously getting itself like automatized as the jnatru jnana jneyo. अव्याकृत आकाश जिसमें बुद्धि है, बुद्धि जिसमें भोग अपवर्ग कॉन्सेप्ट है, in that for the sake of apavarga, buddhi is having continuously the vyapara of jnatru jnana jneya. Please, jnata also is a thought. Jneyam also is a thought. Jnanam also is thought. This vyapara put together is called a buddhi. Buddhi is doing that for the apavarga, for the moksha. Why? Because buddhi is thinking that it is bhoga or bandha. And all of them are where? In the avyakruta akash, in the maya. And where is maya? In its own absence. When the self Brahman is not known as he, this maya comes and creates these three. Now, this is a very crucial discussion next topic in the continuation of this. It will be repeated for you today, tomorrow, day after, 3 times at least, so that little deeper clarity comes to us. We will try. इस बार फेल हो गए तो अगले जन्म में पास होंगे समझने को, हम तो कोशिश करेंगे. So, yo veda nihitam guhayam. Now, parame vyoman. So, parame prakuste vyoman vyomni akashe avyakruta akhe. So, this parama vyoma avyakruta akasha is parama vyoma word is explained in 2 by Bhashyakara. After that, he himself says, though these 2 meanings are there, what meaning if we take, we succeed in going beyond buddhi to recognize the self, what is that among these 2? He himself will tell us little later. Then, tadhi paramam vyoma yes etasminu kholu akshare gargi akashaha. So, Gargi asked, where is that Paramatma? So, there the Guru Maharaj told her, ki tadhi paramam vyoma etasminnu akhalu akshare gargi akasha. So, that Brahman is in the parama vyoma. Okay? So, tadhi paramam vyoma etasminu khalu akshare gargi akashaha. So, where is Brahman? When it was asked, Gargi was told it is in avyakruta akash. Little more deeper inquiry when it was done, the position is shifted or changed. That though the discussion started with the Brahman is in the avyakruta akasha, later on when you go, The Akasha itself is found in Brahman. That Avyakruta Akasha. So the Brahman is substratum, Avyakruta Akasha is superimposed on it. In that Avyakruta Akasha, everything is there. See, this twist in understanding is called as Vedanta. Like when you take a plastic chair. Where is the plastic? We ask, it is in the chair. Where is the plastic? We say it is in the table. Everybody has this understanding that there is plastic in the chair, there is plastic in the table. सब ऐसे ही बोलते हैं. There is a gold in the ornament. But this is a little lower understanding compared to the reversal understanding. The question is what? Is the plastic is in the chair or is the chair is in the plastic? थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगाना पड़ता है. प्लास्टिक इज देयर इन द चेयर, सब व्यवहार में देखो दिख रहा है ना चेयर में प्लास्टिक है, बट द रियल एस्पेक्ट इज द अदर वे अराउंड. चेयर इज इन द प्लास्टिक बिकॉज द कंटेंट is the chair, not the plastic. Plastic is the container later on because that is the substratum. On the plastic, the substratum, the chair or table are superimposed. Therefore, chair and table become the content. The plastic becomes container, not the other way around. That the chair is the container, the plastic is contained in it. देखो व्यवहार बोलते हैं व्यवहार चल रहा है लेकिन उसमें कितना बड़ा झूठ है देखो. यू ओनली से कुर्सी में प्लास्टिक है कि प्लास्टिक में कुर्सी है. कुर्सी में प्लास्टिक है इज अ वेरी ऑर्डिनरी डिस्कशन. इन द प्लास्टिक देयर इज चेयर. इफ यू आर एबल टू से यू हैव बिकम सटलर. Is a fact also because in the plastic the chair is superimposed. In the same way, to the answer of the Bhag Gargi question, the Gargi answer is in the Parama Vyoma Akasha, the Brahman is there. Step 1. Step 2 is what? In the Brahman only that Avyakruta Akasha is there. To say that even for that Avyakruta Maya, the substratum is Brahman only. This is the meaning of Parame Vyomni. Another one. Iti Akshara Sannikarshato. This is how, with the help of that Upanishad, we see for the Akash and Brahma, there is a proximity. Now, Guhayam Vyomni Itiva. See, Guhayam is in Saptami Vibhakti. The case, seventh case, that it is in that. So, to Guhayam Vyomni Itiva Samana Adhikaranyat. Guhayam is also Saptami Vibhakti. Vyoma also is Saptami Vibhakti. Therefore, Avyakruta Akasham eva Guha. This is the conclusion, which is not the correct one, which will be corrected later on. So, therefore, that Avyakruta Akasha, called as the Maya or the Avidya, itself is Guha, you can say, because both of them are in the seventh case. So, Guhayam means Avyakruta Akashayam Guhayam. Sthitaha, this Parabrahma. So yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman. She first said guhayam. Guhayam is buddha. Buddhi in which this triputi always is there. Buddhi in which always the thinking struggle of bhoga and apavarga is going on. Then parame vyoman is explained. For that, the Gargi's quotation is given. Then Parame Vyoman is Avyakruta Akasha is said. Now, both of them are Saptami Vibhakti. Therefore, together also another meaning. Bhashyakara says, Guhayam Parame Vyoman means that Vyoma, Supreme Akasha, which alone is Guha. The Avyakruta Akasha. Therefore, this Guha is Buddhi or is Guha is Avyakruta. Then two things come now. Where we have to search. Very interesting. This is very important. Bhashyakara will explain this a little later. Guhayam Vyomni Itiva Samanadi Karanyatu Avyakruta Akasham Eva Guha. Tatrapi Nigudaha Sarve Padarthaha Trishu Kaleshu Karanatvat Sukshmataratvat Cha. Dekho. These are very, very interesting discussions if we can tune with our intellect, though it is little subtler. Why the Avyakruta Akasha is called as Guha? First, Guha differently is described, then Vyoma is differently described. Then Guha itself is Vyoma is said. Now, why this Vyoma or the Avyakrita Akasha is called as Guha or the place of hidden? For what it is a place of hiding? That answer is so good कि तत्र अपि there alone nigudaha are hidden, but sarve padartha, everything of the world is hidden in that avyakruta akasha only. Padartha trishu kaleshu, at this and in there all the three periods. The three kala is bhuta bhavishyat vartamana, you can say. Trishu kala means srishti sthiti laya kala. Bhutakala, Bhavishyat Kala, Vartamana Kala, Sushti Kala, Sthiti Kala, Laya Kala. In either of the three ways, you can say Trishu Kaleshu. The Sushti Kala, Sthiti Kala, and Laya Kala of every Padartha, Sthula and Sukshma. Where are they always hidden? They are in the Avyakruta only. How do you say that? What's the reason? Because this Avyakruta is the Karana for all of them, and it is Sukshma Taratvacha. It is very sublime and subtle, and it is the karana for all that. Therefore, in this sukshma kara rupa avyakruta akasha, every padartha is hidden every time during their sushti sthiti laya in the past and present and future. That is why this avyakruta akasha is called as guha. वहां ये छुपा है, मतलब उसको गुहा इसलिए कहा क्योंकि ये सब चीजें उसमें छुपे हैं. So Guha has become an adjective for the Parame Vyoman. Then the meaning of this Guha, why is it so called as? Because everything and every object is there from Avyakrita only. Is existing in Avyakrita only. It goes back to Avyakrita only because it is a Karana. And we have studied 2000 times that the Maya is a Karana for the entire world. Whenever you say Maya is the Karana, you have to understand that it's a Nimitta Karana. Whenever you say Brahman is Karana, you have to say that's Upadana Karana. Because the matter should be Upadana only, and matter is Satya only. Satya means Brahman only. So Brahma Rupi Upadana Karana pe, Maya Rupi Nimitta Karana te Karana, all the world is projected. How many times we saw? So how much our real world appearing, the gross world, so tangible, so experiential, all is okay at this totally last level of our Jagrat Vyavahara. But when you go into the deep contemplation level, there we see all of these are nothing but the imaginary concepts there emerging out of the Maya or the Abhyakrita. So, Trishu Kaleshu Karanatvat Sukshmataratvat cha. So, Tasmin Antanitam Brahma. So, that Brahma is hidden there. But now, what will happen is when you say the Brahman is hidden there in the Avyakrita Akasha is always inaccessible because it is Karana. Therefore, you cannot act on it to recognize the Brahma. That is why in the subsequent portion we will see Nihitam Guhayam is not the Avyakrita Akasham. Nihitam Guhayam is the Buddhi only, where this Triputi is happening. Because there only by rejecting the substantially experienced Triputis, that equally substantially we can recognize the Brahman which is Sthitam there. Avyakritam is ignorance. What can you do with ignorance? You can't do anything with ignorance. It's a very funny thing it is. सब गड़बड़ करता है लेकिन उसको कोई पहुंच नहीं सकता उसके पास. So at least in the buddhi, there is a triputi substantial is there. So that triputi, if you can transcend, then you can recognize the Brahman. That will be told to us in the subsequent portion. We'll try to see tomorrow. Again, such topics like Brahma Vidapnoti Param, Satyam Jnanantam Brahma. When we started, Nila Utpala Mahad Utpalavatu, Nila Mahasugandhi, how confused it was. But as we were going repeatedly, slowly some ideas have come to us regarding Brahman, that the Satyam Jnanavantam are not the Shabdas having Brahman as the Vachya, nor it is a sentence. These only Lakshanas reaching us to Brahman after which even neither lakshanas nor the shabdas are required. How? Repeatedly, when we studied, we got an idea. To this topic also, when we repeatedly daily listen in 3 or 4 days, the concept starts forming. Don't expect straight away for getting the understanding in the first class itself, because it's little sublime. इसी एक कुर्सी उधर है, टेबल उधर है, ऐसे बताओ, ये तुरंत हमको पता चल जाता है. But to tell that Upalabdhi sthana of the Brahman itself is such a substantial thing that it is appears to be understood, but it is not an understanding. And then this Upalabdhi sthana बताना और भी मुश्किल होता है, बताने वाले को भी, सुनने वाले को भी, but impossible नहीं. And when we collect this data and then try to experiment it on the contemplative state or the meditative state, then you can see the difference of our meditation. The present meditation of understanding nothing, only do the ekagrata sadhana and we think that's the dhyanam. But when this understanding is pakka, that time when we do meditation, that's the real one, you will see. So, among these two, Nihitam Guhayam is buddhau or avyakruta akashe, parame vyoman. See that parame vyoman is the avyakruta maya akasha, or parame vyoman is the buddhi itself, which if you take the nihitam, the self is there, is proved, and therefore self is obtained. अव्याकृत आकाश में नहीं मिलता है, बुद्धि में ही मिलता है परमात्मा, इसलिए बुद्धि का ये अर्थ हमें लेना है. दैट्स व्हाट हार्दम एव तु परमं व्योम इति न्याय्यम विज्ञान अंगत्वेन व्योमनः विवक्षितत्वात्. यो वै स बहिर्दा पुरुषादाकाशः यो वै सोऽन्त पुरुषाकाशः इति श्रुत्यन्तरात् प्रसिद्धं हार्दस्य व्योमनः परमात्मम्. तस्मिन् हार्दे व्योम्नि निहितं ब्रह्म, या बुद्धि गुहा तस्यां निहितं ब्रह्म तद्वृत्त्या विविक्ततया उपलभ्यते इति. नहीं अन्यथा विशिष्ट देश काल संबंधः अस्ति ब्रह्मणः सर्वगतत्वात् निर्विशेषत्वात्. Such a great thing it is. By God's Guru's grace, if we have that very sharp and subtle intellect to pierce through these words and understand the thing which is contained or conveyed through that, for us now we will know what exactly the dhyana. We will spend time little tomorrow, day after to come to nearest of the meaning. Definitely the light will come, no doubt about it. Today we'll stop here, then we'll continue tomorrow. Again, when I repeat 2 or 3 or 4 days, we will catch it. Vedanta ka yahi maja hai, that is why it is repeatedly taught. But the problem is that even though it's understood, if you're not continuously in its touch with it, as we said in our today's introduction class, again this knowledge gets faded away. We are flooded with again the triputi of the worldliness. We get lost. See the power of Maya, whatever you call. It is projecting the whole world of Triputi on the Brahman and making us so busy in that to such an extent is Brahman is forgotten. Kya badhiya mazar khel. That is why when the knowledge dawns, when you look back and see, itna hasi mazak aata hai. Arre wah, how I was such a fool, forgetting the reality, giving reality to the unreal Triputi. वो तो इसको हंसी मजाक आता है, and that's why you will not tell others. बोला अदर तो अर्थ क्या हुआ कि मैं पहले बेवकूफ था, मैं भी इंटेलिजेंट बन गया. Nobody talks like that. They keep quiet. चोर when becomes good, he never say मैं पहले चोर था वगैरह. वो इंसल्ट, बिकॉज डाउट आ जाएगा सुनने वालों को. In the same way, let's see tomorrow. Om 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 Om. One thing is clear, that Paramatma is not available anywhere outside, is available in the Buddhi Guha Akasha. Only thing we have to understand is that Akasha is the Buddhi Guha Akasha or the Avyakruta Akasha. Tomorrow it will be proved. It's a Buddhi Guha Akasha, not the Avyakruta. Simple thing, we have to understand this much. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramanusibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti Namaha Tatsat Brahmarpanastu. Then after gaining this Brahman there, what is the result? That explanation is again beautiful. So Shnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipashchita iti. Badiyasa. And this is how this Upanishad, especially the Taittiriya, especially the second Brahmananda Valli, especially the Prathama Uruvaka, the introduction to it itself is so beautiful. Then every line and that bhashya of that line also, step by step guiding us. And it becomes complete. These three lines, Brahma Vidapnoti Param Tadeshabhyukta Satyam Jnanavantam Brahma. Second, Yo Vedanitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Third, So Shnute Sarvan Kaman Sa Brahmana Vipasthiti. These three are the crux of the entire Vedanta. If we can sort out it thoroughly in our intellectual understanding, Vedanta, Dhyana, all are clear to us. Let us see it. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.